Good morning, buen dia. It is day 80 on my hike from Mexico to Canada along the Pacific Crest Trail. Yesterday I got to mile 1050. Today I'm going to try to do somewhere between 20 and 25 because I have 42 miles to get to where I'll hitch into South Lake Tahoe, and there's not really anywhere to camp in town that makes sense, so it's just a matter of how many I want to do today versus tomorrow. But I'm a little sore from yesterday. Like, my knee feel a little bit this morning. My feet are a little sore. Having pushed and done 25.7 miles yesterday, which was a mileage record for me. But all in all, feeling pretty good. It's a beautiful day. I'm gonna flip the camera here. You can see these nice layers of mountains, the same ones I showed last night as the sun was setting. All right. Last night there was a bunch of deer creeping around our campsite and licking my pee. So they woke me up around 4. I couldn't go back to bed. So eventually I just laid there and started getting ready. So it's about 6:45, getting an earlier start. Definitely probably be a little tired later. I'll see you down the line. Still not sure what that flag is about up there. No one seems to know, but I'm gonna try to look it up later if I remember. I'm so tired. It's that groggy, sleepwalking feeling. I mean, by the time I got all my chores done, including putting together the video and kind of cleaning up and dinner and all that, I didn't get to bed till about 11. Definitely did not sleep straight through. I didn't track my sleep. My phone watch, my watch battery was dead. But I've been up since 4 a.m. almost on the dot, because that deer creeping around the campsite. So at best, I got 5 hours sleep, and I know there's no chance in heck that I was sleeping straight through the night. So I'm really needing and looking forward to that day off in Lake Tahoe, which is what I'm back solving for. Honestly, I really needed the day off a few days ago when I got off at Sonora Pass. I ended up going into Strawberry. There are a few towns I could have gone into, but I decided just to push on 3 more days and then take that day off in Tahoe, and I really, really need it. Body's sore, but hanging in there. But I'm so tired and exhausted, physically, like sleepy wise, fatigued. It just compounds. I don't know if this is day 16 straight sleeping in my tent, but man, it's important too, because for recovery obviously, but also like when I'm walking now, like when I'm so tired, it increases the risk of me stepping on a rock or something wrong, and all it takes is one bad step. So I'm struggling right now, but I'm grateful that my body's not in pain, like crazy amount of pain. So gotta take the wins when we get them. I should say I said 16 nights in a tent. I did have the one night where I slept at the Strawberry store in the garage, and if I wasn't trying to be so overly courteous to the girl sleeping next to me, not to wake her, because we kind of shared like a big bed, but we were each in our own sleeping bag, I probably would have slept better. But I actually got a worse night's sleep that night than I have been getting even on trail. So 16 days of just poor sleep is what I meant. But one of those nights was not in a tent, but I don't even know if I really fell asleep that night. I was just squirming and slowly, quietly, so I didn't disturb somebody, but I couldn't fall asleep. These guys I'm hiking with, Rambo and Noah, they've seen more wildlife than anyone I've talked to on this trail. So aside from like deer and rattlesnakes, which pretty much everybody's seen, they've seen 2 bears, 3 mountain lions, bighorn sheep or whatever's up high in the mountains, coyotes. Like, it's crazy. I've only heard of one other person even seeing a bear. Heard of only one other person seeing a mountain lion. Maybe 2 other people seeing a bear. There are stats I've seen on this website that collects data from all PCT through hikers, and the majority do see a bear at some point. But the mountain lion is in like the lower double digits percentage-wise. They've seen 3. I've spent enough time now, the last 2-3 years in Southern California, being outside and on this hike, where I know they've been around me, but I haven't seen them. Like, I've seen their prints when I camped in Anza Borrego State Park outside of the PCT, because the PCT does run through that. But I've never seen one. I'd really like to. I'd love to see another bear too, and some coyotes. There was a coyote when we were getting a hitch to Sonora Pass just a few days ago that was in front of us in the car. Everyone in the car saw it but me. I don't know if I just didn't have the right angle from where I was sitting, or was too tired or nauseous to look in the right place. But I'd really like to see some stuff besides just the deer licking my pee. Southwest vibes, like Arizona feel to me back there in those structures, which I do like the change of topography. It's very dangerous, I found, having expectations of what a day should entail. But obviously, doing prep work, you should look ahead and have some understanding of what lies in front of you for planning purposes. So, very apprehensive and want to be cautious how I say this, but given that over the next 20 to 25 miles, it should be only 3,000 to 4,000 feet of gain and descent. Today should be a little less demanding than the past few weeks, and that is such a nice thought, but it's very hard to process that because there are going to be tough parts today, and if you have this idea it's going to be easy, those tough parts almost get harder. So I'm apprehensive to say it, but today should be a little bit better of a day in terms of how challenging it is. Entering the Mokiloon Wilderness. Probably not saying that right either. The air is so fresh and clean out here right now. It's just really nice, and admittedly it is nice getting up earlier in terms of like the sun's not too pounding and direct, and it's just kind of more peaceful and calm, tranquil. It's Kinney Lake. Walked by earlier. It's a better view of it. I'm definitely a little beat up from yesterday and tired per usual, so taking it a little slower today. Going at like probably 2.5 miles an hour pace, even though it's been fairly easy terrain. Some very beautiful views. Pretty epic sight to turn around the corner too. This should be a really nice stretch. Looks like you're gonna go through this meadow or valley or whatever you call it. Hopefully it'll be pretty moderate elevation. Very beautiful sights on both sides. Really liking this part of the Sierras. topography. That is like Arizona vibes. I've said that like 5 times, but it really does. I didn't realize there were places in California that looked like Arizona. Still got some snow here. This is nice. Flat, smooth trail, beautiful scenery in the background. This is more what I had in mind when I signed up for the PCT. I'm half joking. I knew it was gonna be a challenge, which is why I wanted to do it. But these are more like the types of moments that I saw in everybody's vlogs and documentaries and stuff. Today, my general mood and energy is just, I really want someone to do the walking for me. So I'm lucky it's an easier day. So it feels like the days of the past weeks, I don't know how I'd be going. I'm doing about 2.5 miles an hour, and I really just want to crawl into bed, but I can't. Gotta keep trekking along. I'm craving Johnny Rockets burger specifically. I would get a shake though too, which is weird. So I don't think I've eaten there in over a decade. I used to love it as a kid. And I smelled something that reminded me of the smell of a burger, specifically lettuce, but for some reason, very specifically, started craving Johnny Rockets. Very expensive. You can see the trail as it goes up and kind of scales this mountain and the cliff on the edge and through there. Well, I don't know much about flowers, even though I've bought many through the years for my mom and my grandmother and my aunt and girlfriends and relationship type things, but these look like the ones you get at the store. Those white ones that are almost like filler for other ones, but How nice. You got red, yellow, white, purple. Pretty cool. Wanted to keep walking, but it's a little dicey, so I'm just gonna take this view first and keep going. Just hit 12 miles. It's about 10 minutes before noon. I'm gonna do a half mile more and then break for lunch. Definitely just feeling it today, even though it's been moderate. I would not call it an easy day, but relative to the insanity coming off of, it's definitely easier. Alexander the Great.
I think that's a great name.
It is a hot one, moving after lunch. It's really hot out, I'm really tired. Well, today's been a slog, just exhausted and it's hot. Thankfully it's been moderate. I won't say easy like I said, but it's been manageable, the terrain. But definitely got another climb here. I think it's like 1,300 feet over the next 4 miles, so it's nothing too crazy, but it's definitely a lot uphill. But I'm happy to report I've taken off my knee brace for the first time for the last couple miles, but now I'm gonna go up, so we'll see how that goes. But it's definitely, thankfully, doing better after a couple weeks of pain. Treated it by just babying it, ibuprofen, CBD oil at night, and the brace. Those look very interesting. Almost like building blocks or something, the way they're formed. This has been pretty rare for a long time. Crossing roads. Haven't done it. Did one yesterday. That was the first in since I can remember, but it wasn't very active. This one I just heard a car go by. It's clearly a lot more active. Ooh, it's hot. Carrying about 4 pounds of water, so I feel that extra weight. Going a lot uphill. Definitely dragging today. Looks like an elephant to me. Like there's the eye and the head and the ear and a big trunk. A little over 18 miles in on the day. Coming up on 5 o'clock. So I mentioned my knees doing better, thankfully. But as soon, after that big push yesterday, as soon as my knee's better, it's like, what's next? Like, my left anterior tib's hurting again. I spent most of my lunch break massaging it. It's, it's not horrible at the moment, but it's not great. And that's what took me off trail the first time in Idlewild. So, there's literally always something out here. You can't get your break. It's all about triaging and managing it, I think. I was a little over 18 miles in, and this nice gentleman, Cam, is out here. He's a local hikes around here, and he trains with weights and also brings sodas and beverages for PCT hikers. So in the middle of this remote area, I got a little trail magic, and it was a nice conversation. So thanks again, Cam. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, that was really nice and unexpected. I don't know, I couldn't tell you the last time I experienced some trail magic. I think probably the desert, actually, a long time ago. So that was a nice little 15-20 minute stop. Now I've got about 1.5 miles left to get to the top of this climb. Excuse me. And then after that, see how far I want to push. Maybe gotta do at least another mile or two to cut the total distance and at least do over half, but I'll see how I'm feeling. That was kind of weird. Feels like I'm on another planet or something. another planet, or this part here almost looks like a farm. Like the dirt, the soil, and really nothing else except for a few trees is around, which I've seen. Growing up in the Midwest, like there are farms that will have a few trees kind of left in the area. Like, interesting. Cool to see the lake back there and some snow here. This Quest Bar menu costs $5. Worth every penny. It's a remote place. Wow. I just had a crash. I need to eat the rest of my fuel. That's interesting. Seems a lot of place. Kind of pyramid-esque, kind of. I think that's the trail up there, that line. And it's a beautiful panoramic, though. Yeah, it's kind of steep. I am 23 miles in. I am sore. Sorer than yesterday. Definitely was feeling a lot better yesterday, but I took it slower today. Still did really well, but definitely lowered my pace up at that end. Still got most of the mileage done. Still got a little ways to go here. I have no water. I haven't had any water for the last 2 miles, and I got another little over like half to 3/4 to go to get to water. That was a conscious decision. Excuse me, there was a lake I was gonna go refill at. I started walking down to it and it was a little ways away, and I was like, you know what, it's mostly downhill, which there's definitely some good uphill there too, but it was net downhill. The sun's lower at this time of day. It's probably like 7 o'clock or something, and I've done stretches like that before, so. But yeah, I wanted to knock off some of the miles for tomorrow, so I could have stopped at that lake and camped. That would have been 21 miles on the day, and that would have left 21 tomorrow. I'm going to get as close as I can to Highway 80, which is where you can hitch into South Lake Tahoe, and maximize Sunday. Today is Friday, so maximize the day I have Sunday, the Airbnb, and the town day. So that will be a true 0, basically. So I'm gonna get as close as I can to that trailhead and camp there tomorrow night. So that's about, I think, where I'm gonna camp today. That'll leave me maybe 17 miles. So it should be a little lighter than today and yesterday. Oh, my feet are pulsating and throbbing in pain. I'm about a little over a mile left to where I want to get to. I finally am about to reach this water. This valley is so beautiful. I had to stop and take another video. The sun's setting. Ugh. Are these wild, like donkeys? Oh no, never mind. There's something. So I talked to the lady for a little bit. She was very nice. Those are pack donkeys. So they can hike. They've done tons of backpacking, but as they're older, it's just too much for them to carry their own stuff. So they take the donkeys with them. And said they work great and they got great personalities. It was really cool to see that. Whoa, these rocks are massive and the colors too are super cool. Oh, just got to where I'm gonna camp for the night. I'm not sure if Noah and Rambo are gonna make it or not, but we'll link up tomorrow before heading into town. Did about 24.75 miles or something like that, so another long day. I'm really much more beat up today than yesterday, but this has been day 80. I will check in with you all tomorrow. Dinner with a view. Well, it's dark, but I'm pumped. Noah, also IE Cap, Rambo, Jonah, and we got Pitt over here. Made it, so back-to-back big days here. What a good uplifting way to round it out.